Saturday night, a little bit past, well, Saturday night. Not sure if people will watch this, but we'll see what happens. Uh, so for a lot of you, it's probably what, Saturdays? Yeah, Saturday morning. But I figured, well, I am up, and I did just come back from my latest show, and it was an interesting one for various reasons, and one that I probably haven't experienced in this way. So I thought I would talk a little bit about it. I know it's not bandmade, so I know the numbers will be smaller than yesterday, but still worth talking about and sharing about. And as I do, I will be eating a little because let's see, I ate around 3:30 p.m. and it is now 12 a.m. All right, so today was day 2 of my long weekend. And by long weekend, I mean yesterday was Bandmade, today was Doll Parts, Hades, and Team Aya. Aya, who is originally a bassist, and I don't know much about her. She does have a YouTube channel, and tonight she performed with support members. So she was actually singing, even though she's originally a bassist, but she had a bassist, she had a guitarist, and she had a drummer. Not quite sure what exactly that's all about, but we'll find out. And then tomorrow, which is Sunday, and that is going to be another long day because I will be not only watching, but I'll be taking photos for Sala, Whiskey Dust. Hey, what's going on, Michael? Sala, Whiskey Dust, the Stereo Gang, and Venus. So, a couple of bands I've never seen, Venus and the Stereo Gang, and then 2 bands that I have seen, Sara and Whiskey Dust. And my dog is just sort of walking around. Are you right there? As I do talk, I hope you don't mind, I will be munching a little. I went to the konbini and I got a butter chicken naan. It doesn't look that appetizing the way I'm showing it, but I'm sure it's fine. I got a fish burger that I put in the toaster oven and got a bit toasted. So, but let me get into today. And today made me very grateful. Today made me feel very anxious. Pizza's always good. Today made me feel a little bit anxious, but I had a lot of fun. And so I'll break it down. Now, yesterday was Day of Made. Went to the Bandmade show, had an awesome time, met tons of people that I've met before, people that I've kind of met, people that I probably forgot, and just new people. So it's always this mix. Oh yeah, they're getting there. I don't know, I kind of miss my old place with like the posters and stuff. So I might have to think about arrangement and like getting posters, and there's a lot of blank walls and I could put up posters, but you're not going to see it, so. Not really sure what to do about that. It's a pretty tight space where I am compared to where I used to be. But we'll figure that out. Now, it turns out that a lot of those people that I met yesterday, or that were there yesterday, ended up coming to tonight's show. And a fair few of them, I don't know if every single one, but a fair few of them did end up coming at my recommendation. And so it was a pretty large number, relatively speaking. There were anywhere, I think 12 to 13 foreigners who had come to see the show tonight, and I think that's pretty rare for this kind of show. So it was really awesome. I was glad to see people like Richard Hogan there. Ed Hunt came there. Gerald was there. Carmelo, people that I knew from before. Ellen Armour, who I had met. Was it just yesterday? Or was it previously too? Gosh, it's so hard. um, yeah, Chris, Brian. I mean, a lot of people. John Reeves came by. For those of you who do know him, he's also a YouTuber. He's also a reactor. Um, he's got a pretty decent amount of subscribers, and so he also wanted to meet Dull Parts in Hades, and I thought that's a good opportunity. If he's got a lot of followers, and if people who have not heard of Dull Parts or Hades yet, and if he can reach those people, then all the merrier. So he came by, had a chance to talk with the both bands a little bit, so that was really cool. But yesterday I was telling you, Miley, which I think a lot of people seems like a lot of people are fans of her. But Miley, the very cute Japanese tour guide, who seems to be getting quite a reputation for her personality and for her tours and for her YouTube channel. Last night was her first night at the Bandmate show, and because of the mad rush towards the stage from the people behind, she was getting crushed because she was right behind me. And so I decided to push her in front of me where I was at the rail. And I was protecting her on this side, Derek Stevenson on the other side. We it's a pretty fun, even from my point of view, in my opinion, even though I was in it, it's a pretty fun interview. Um, yeah, so go check it out. But so she was in front of me for the majority of the show, like a good 2 hours of the show, like while we were there. Um, and so a lot of times I was watching her, not because she's cute. I was watching her because I was like, is she having fun? Is she enjoying herself? And I'm kind of aware of what's going on. What's up, Peter? And so with tonight, there's like 12 people there who came from my recommendation. And so I'm wondering, do they like the show? Are they enjoying it? Are they having a good time? Um, is it as much of a party, especially with Hades, as it always is for me? Like, Hades is one of those bands to me that has the ability to go nuclear. Um, there is something about the amount of energy that's produced on stage that is, it's insane. Like, just how many times more, like how many multiples more energy and like excitement and just raw power there is that emanates from these girls when they're like performing their songs and they're on stage and they're just doing their thing. But I experienced that. I was like, are these guys experiencing it? So I was really glad to hear that they did. I was really glad to hear that they were enjoying, that they enjoyed themselves, that they were all pretty impressed with Hades tonight, and kind of like I guess the proof is in the pudding. And after the show, there's always merch time. It's called Buppan. So Buppan is, merch sales. And so it was my first time at this venue, Shibuya Cyclone. And Shibuya Cyclone is like the second floor down, like the basement too. Not that easy to find. So if you ever need to find Shibuya Cyclone, this is just a tip. If you ever go to a show that's at Shibuya Cyclone, look for the kombini, look for the Shake Shack, but the kombini, and like you have to go down the steps. You have to go down the steps. And it's quite a few steps down. But yeah, my first time at the venue there, my first time seeing Doll Parts since last year May, even though I had interviewed them in November of last year, and that was for, it was after Tokyo Garden Theater. No, not Tokyo Garden Theater. It was after Yokohama Arena in November. So that was really cool too. Um, and so yeah, having all those people there at my recommendation, and so it was kind of like, if you guys heard my talk yesterday, I was talking about Galaxy Quest, and I had watched it with this girl that I liked, and I couldn't enjoy the movie because of how I was wondering how she felt. But anyhow, kind of the same thing, but I decided to just enjoy myself. I took confidence in Hades making the impact that they would, and they did. And during the Buppan time, the merch time, it showed because like it was a line of people who wanted to buy CDs, merch, take checkies, the photos with the band members, and I thought, Hades, Sasuga, they did their job. So great, great time. And before the show happened, even yesterday, no, today, I was talking with Hara, we were messaging, and she was like, Peter, I want you to enjoy the show. Like, you don't have to always take photos for us. You can just enjoy it. And I thought, I mean, because like once I get into taking photos, like I really just get into taking photos. But since she had said that, and even like when I got to the venue, so I thought, all right, I will do my best to just enjoy myself. And so I took photos for Hades for a little bit, put the camera down, and then joined the party. I was up in front, and just having a good old time. Like, I think I lost a couple hundred calories, which prior to doing photos for these bands, yeah, I I used to go get really nuts. Yeah, so I did take photos for Hades. I took photos for Doll Parts, and then for Aya, I took some shots for her. And actually, I was explaining to her that I am a YouTuber. It's weird to say that, but I am. I guess technically I'm a YouTuber, and I was explaining our channel is here to help spread Japanese music. And then she was like, "Oh, wait, 1 second." And then she came back, and then she gave me her latest CD and a flyer. So this is her flyer, and so the album actually came out a year and a half ago, so 2022. But if you guys want to, if I don't know if you're watching this on your phones, but you guys can go ahead and take a look. Hi Ken, how are you? So you guys can check out her QR codes. But she was really sweet. She was really sweet, really cool. And again, I was surprised that she wasn't playing bass because she's known for being a bassist. She actually did try out for Love Bites when they were looking to fill in Miho's place, but as we all know, Fami ended up taking that spot. But yeah, she's still a really good bassist. Again, she has her YouTube channel. If you look up Aya, Aya, and then bassist, you can see her stuff. So I will be listening to this at some point soon, and yeah, give you my thoughts. So I did take photos for all of them, and I will say, humbly, I took some pretty dang good shots for Doll Parts in particular. Um, there are just certain acts, and there are certain people who are just photogenic. And Arisa from Doll Parts is very photogenic. She definitely she can definitely just pose. Like she just has some good poses as she performs. So there are a few shots and I was like, I had to check and I was like, oh man, that is good. But again, the proof is in the pudding. So I'll put up some photos on Twitter, X, and I'll send some to her. But she says if they're good enough, then she'll put it on her homepage as well, and credit it to me. So that's really cool too. Oh, this is kind of This is really, really random. But Kotaro, the drummer, I think he's a really great drummer. Like, mm, he's very influenced. Uh, oh, hi. Hola, saludes. Cuenta. From Chile. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Um, Great drummer. Like, he's got this certain sound and style, but I tried taking photos of him, but it's really interesting because, hey, Paul, so if this is the stage, let's say you're looking at the stage from where you are, he's over here on this side, not in the middle, and the drums are set up sideways, so he's actually facing across the stage, not towards the audience. So with the height, uh, good morning, Robert. Hello, hello. Um, cool, thank you. Um, it was tough taking photos of him. I did take some photos. Um, oh, really? That's really cool. He actually, there was a video of him playing with the drummer of Soko ni Naru. I think some of you may have heard of the band. I know Ryan's a huge fan of Soko ni Naru, and he actually went to one of their shows when he was here last year. But okay, so the whole show is over. They clean up. They have tables set up. They're just chilling and just drinking. And then all of a sudden, like as I'm getting my stuff ready to pack up to leave, because I need to, come back home, take care of my dog. Um, I hear my name being called up. I'm like, what? And I look, and then they're like, oh, Kotaro wants to arm wrestle you. I was like, wait, what? What's going on? Like, yeah. I'm like, wait, what? What? So there was this really random impromptu arm wrestling match between me and Kotaro. Um, after the show. So I never expected to arm wrestle one of the Japanese artists that I've interviewed and like interacted with. It was really fun. I'm not gonna say who won. Um, we arm wrestled left and right, right-handed, right-handed. One of us won. Left-handed, it was a tie. So it's a good memory. Yeah, I like him. There's something very sweet and innocent about him that I really like. Um, and Arisa, she's just really sexy, like on stage. She's very sensual the way she performs. She's got this like undulation. Um, and there's this very like, because she's very, very influenced by Western artists. She's very influenced by Western artists. If you guys have seen my interview with her or just read about her and just think of the name Doll Parts, you know that Courtney Love is like her idol. Like, I mean, she just, yeah. So on stage, she really has this, she can get really raw and really loose, and like there she is like on the floor, like just like kind of pouring herself into the crowd. um it's really cool to see that, and I really do appreciate their songs. I feel like Doll Parts has, because Koji, who is their support guitarist but also their producer and also their composer, so he composes the songs and Arisa does the lyrics. But and for me, it's another throwback. It's more towards the 90s and then the knots, with sort of grunge, post grunge, even Britpop. Like there's a mix within like that era. But I don't know. There's some really good songs, some great melodies, and the performance is great. So I was glad to see them again tonight. And I think Arisa's she's just a hoot. She's just really, really funny. Um, so yeah, hold on. I did take a checkie with her. Let's see. Oh, man. What? What? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh no. Ah, here it is. Okay, sorry. This is how out of sorts I am at times. Um, it's really cool because I do get these backstage passes or like all admission passes. Like this is for last week at Shinjuku Wildside. And that was with She-Glapes, Nekomeshi 222, Bad Bubble, um, Majesty no Saga, a few other bands. So I just found this in my camera bag. And then a nice addition, Shibuya Cyclone. So one of the hard things about finding the venue is that this is how how the name is written. So that's kind of hard to find. So that does say actually Cyclone, and I am under HADES. But yeah, there we go. Hey, what's going on, Devin? So this is the checky that I took with her. She's just a really cool girl. Um, there's a warmth about her. There's this like looseness about her that is. It feels very un-Japanese. Oh, she's very cute. She's very cute. She's very charming. She's very hot. Yeah, I mean, whatever way you want to, whatever you want to say it. Um, so yeah, I did take some really good shots of her. I couldn't take too many good photos of Kotaro because of the way that he was positioned, and there were people in the front. But they do have their official photographer, Domon, who takes some really amazing shots of the band. But he was there. They have a new staff. His name is Kevin. I don't think that's his real name. Well, not his real name. That's not his like original Japanese name. Nobody's original Japanese name is Kevin. Um, so there were like 3 photographers going on. So I guess I shouldn't worry too much. I took a few shots of Koji as well, but I would say the majority, like 80, 90% of my shots, just because she's right there and moving around and like I get like good angles, was Arisa. So I will get those up at some point. Tonight might be a little bit too late because it is 12:30 now here. Um, so there was that, and then kind of going back to, so they were the last act of the night. Um, they did perform this song called Dune off of their album. Is it here that I can show you? It's here somewhere, but I don't want to dig for it. Um, but yeah, it's a song called Dune. It sounds nothing like a Hans Zimmer soundtrack. It doesn't sound like it's a song from some remote planet, some desert planet with like sandworms. um, it's just a really good song. It's very emotional. It's very passionate. So they performed that for one of their encore songs. I was happy to hear that for the first time. And yeah, so kudos to Doll Parts. Happy to see them tonight. I'll definitely see them again. And they and Saiseiga are very close friends, so I'm hoping at some point. Well, no, I will be seeing Saiseiga June something. June. Darn it, They're one man, and it's in the same building because it's the same owner. Yeah, it's cool. Doll Parts is playing a lot more. I don't know how much of an impact Saiseiga made. Um, and it's tough because Doll Parts musically, they do differ the most from a lot of other bands. Yeah, but I do. I think their music is great. The performance is great. But I will see them again. Going back to Hades, I think they were my. I'm not concerned, but like I was most like is I guess anxious as to what people thought, and but again I did say like they'll do fine, and it was so good to just hear from people after. Like I was just like, "What did you think? What did you think?" And it's not like, um, yeah, yeah. Arisa is an insanely hard worker. She's driven. Like I think a lot of the front women are, um, but so curious about what people thought. Um, but yeah, it just I don't know. I should just trust. I should always just trust that Hades is gonna put on an awesome show, and whoever does come will just love them to bits. I don't know if they will as much as I do, um, but I really feel like Hades is a band that they absolutely can perform overseas, and I feel like foreign fans will like fall in love with them completely, fall in love with them completely. Um, yeah, so it was good. It was good to sweat. It was to get into the mix. Putting on the camera, just throwing down like, and it was so funny. After the show, I went into the dressing room. I was talking with the Hades girls, and like they were all saying, especially with Kuya and with Mayo, they were saying how happy they were to have seen me like get into that. Because they haven't seen it in a while. Because I've been again just kind of taking photos for them, but I'm very good at like throwing down when it comes to like really just loving music, as some people unfortunately have experienced around me, like at a bandmate show or otherwise. So it was really good to do that, and they were just saying like, oh, like I was reminded of that first time like we saw you, because they actually remember how insane I was going. I think the first couple of times of their shows that I was at. So even though I wasn't able to get like all these good shots of Hades, I'm glad that I was able to just be a part of the party, and that the girls were happy to have seen me get into it as well. Um, there's a fulfillment for the band taking photos because I know that I'm helping them, but I guess the fulfillment of making the girls happy because I was happy too. So yeah, yeah, unseen world. Nobody made fun of me today. Wait, did anybody make fun of me today? No, I don't think so. Um, and then yeah, so also as I mentioned with the bassist Aya, um, so I did tell her again about the channel. I did tell her about MNN, and yeah, she seemed really excited. If I could help kind of spread word about her, so at the very least, I definitely encourage you guys. That's awesome. Um, at the very least, just check out her YouTube channel, see what you guys think. And yeah, if there's any opportunity, her name is Aya. And again, I will let you know what I think about her CD. So, oh yeah, there were 12, there were at least 12 gaijins. Um, I took a photo of a lot of them standing outside, and hold on, what was that about Dim Race? Yeah, next week, actually, on the 18th, Dim Rays will be on Saturday uh, at a clothing store in Shinjuku? No, Harajuku. I haven't been to Harajuku in a while, but they will be at a shop in Harajuku. If I can, if it's okay during that time, maybe I can sneak in and maybe I can do a quick little live stream with them, or actually record and do like an actual legit interview with them. We'll see. Because they are performing the night before and maybe the day after. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, so SJ, there were 12 guys. Um, and then Ed Hunt and Alan Armour were both wearing MNN shirts. So if you check out uh, the girls HRHM, no, is it on the community page? I think it's on our community page. I think there's a photo of them wearing the shirts. So MNN, good job, man. So it was very um, rewarding and fulfilling tonight because most, if not all of those guys did come to the show because I had been promoting Hades and Doll Parts and recommended them at various points in various places. And then, so in the dressing room, it's like I told them like, oh, there's gonna be quite a few like foreigners here for the show. It's like, well, how why? I was like, oh, because of me. And I wasn't bragging. I was just speaking very honestly that I had been promoting the show. I had posted in, different places that the show would be happening after the day of Made, and just to know that they did come out because of that. And after the show, that there was a line of people waiting to buy merch. And I gotta say, Hades did pretty well tonight. Hades did pretty well tonight in terms of selling stuff like CDs and shirts and merch and stuff. So, um, yeah, it's nice, man. It's really nice. I think having been a fan of Bandmade for, well, now it's like 6+ years. But even as a fan of Bandmade, I think I was always trying to do stuff beyond just liking them. Whether it was like doing graphics for Fans Cafe for a while, like I'm for those who aren't members of Bandmade Fans Cafe, if you notice, the banner hasn't changed for a few months. Sorry about that. I used to be pretty good at changing it every month to coincide thematically with stuff and with new releases. Um, but with moving and then just getting caught up with a lot of other stuff, I hope that's okay, SJ and Chester and Freddie. I hope you don't mind too much. If you do, let me know. You can. Whoosh. Um, but yeah, like doing graphics and then getting the attention of Herman Lee, getting the actual attention of the maids. I remember I actually did a graphic for. Yay! I'm fired. You can admin your own page. um, I did actually end up doing a graphic for Herman and Saki's interview on Twitch one time, and she had reposted that, so that was really cool. Saki formerly from Nemophila. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, so even as a fan, I was always trying to do extra stuff, and then realizing that I actually had the potential to reach the maids, I was like, oh, I can really like kind of bounce stuff back and forth. Um, and so that's what I started doing, like between the fans to the maids, maids to the fans, creating like different graphics for them, and so it's really fulfilling to know that. Oh, actually, there is. I just mentioned previously. There's this guy, Kevin, who is now. I believe he runs the Doll Parts staff account on X, Twitter, and he was actually just a fan as well. But he was so consistent at promoting the band that he actually became a hired staff for the band. And so I don't know. I mean, if you really are dedicated to something, like stuff just happens. People do pay attention to it. None of, not none, but very few of these bands that we love in Japan are so big that they are not going to pay attention or take notice of like things that people do, especially if there's this consistency. Um, and this like sort of loyalty. Uh, yeah. So again, the opportunities that I've had with Hades, just because of that, it I don't know. It's like honestly, I feel like I could die and I can say, um, I did some good work. Not my whole life, but I feel like I did some good work, and that's how I feel. And I intend to continue to do good work, and I think Kevin will continue to do good work, and I think a lot of you out there who really appreciate these bands, like it means a lot for them, and it does help. You'd be surprised. It's just like one little thing, and it does create a difference. Um, so yeah, today was really cool in that sense. It was very fulfilling to see that, and we'll see like what other bands that I'll be able to help out and work with. I don't. It's really tough to say. I don't know if I'll be working with other bands to the extent that I have and that I am with Hades. Um, because it's weird. Hades has now become sort of a part of MNN as well as MNN kind of becoming a part of Hades. Um, I don't know. There's this whole other story that's like a whole can of worms to sort of figure out and talk about with SJ and um, bandmate will always be there, and we're always gonna be promoting them. Hey Kevin, what's up? We were just talking about Kevin, but a different Kevin. Um, yeah, there's just I don't know. I feel like our lives have so much potential to do so much good. Our lives have so much potential to do so much good, to make so much impact, and create so many opportunities for a lot of people, you know? Um, Sometimes it is a chore. Sometimes it is a chore, I'm not gonna lie. Especially when it comes to translations. But um, in the end, ever since I was young, ever since I was young, I prefer doing good work and finding fulfillment in that rather than hanging out and having fun. Um, but if you get to work hard and have fun as well, then that's great. Um, yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It was a good show. Um, as I mentioned, it was great seeing people and people that I enjoy. I've developed a good sort of friendship and relationship with, and that means a lot to me as well. Really cool. Just if you guys didn't see our interview with Miley in the pre-show interview, she was saying how she thinks that bandmate fans are really just really nice, just really kind. And as I was watching um, tonight, they are. They're just really good people in our community. And I'm not quite sure what community it is anymore, because it's not just bandmate. you know Over the past couple of years, especially, or the past year for me, since I've noticed it, it's become much bigger than bandmate, even though bandmate does seem to be the epicenter. um it's getting bigger, and I feel like the ripples, the circumference has really broadened, in the best way possible. So yeah, I don't know, it's a really interesting evolution. I feel like SJ, who's been around for longer than I have as a bandmate fan, maybe there's more perspective there, in terms of over the years, like what's happened, like to the fandom, and it, yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's a really interesting thing, because Japanese music has gotten bigger, just in general. Because you have bands like Nemophila coming out. Hanabi is like one of the more recent sort of breakouts. Um, Yeah, but not quite. I feel like Randall's HRHM community is more, it's still more of a subculture, right? But it's, hmm, it's really fascinating. Um, it does take parts of the HRHM, but then it's sort of bigger than that as well, and it does reach into more mainstream. You know, you have people like getting into like Atarashi Gakko, um, which I consider a bigger band. Hey Ricardo. There are still people who like are in love with baby metal, just love bites. I mean, all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate it. I have to say, I don't think we've yet had like a massive troll. Mm, every now and then I kind of look at comments and I think, oh, not my favorite comment in the world, but I think about it. I have to say, I am so extremely grateful for the people who follow our channel and support what we do. I really feel like you guys are pretty incredible. And you guys should probably give yourselves a pat on the back. Because without you guys, news wouldn't continue to spread. Mm. And John Reeves, who thank you so much. Creepers. Um, John Reeves, who was there tonight, was saying, we were just talking. He was saying like, yeah, your channel is really it's really condensed. It's really dense. Because he was talking about, because he does have a fair number of subscribers, but they're kind of like in all bits and places. Because I think his reactions, you know, it's not just Japanese music or this area. It's like different parts and bits. Um, but I do see how with our channel with MNN, we get a pretty good number of views. And oh, awesome! I'm so glad. Yeah, the Akane sticks, now that they're back in stock. Um, Richard Hogan found quite a few and bought them all up. um, I had actually bought him a pair, and I was supposed to give it to him, and he said, "Oh, you can just have it as a gift, even though I paid for it, because I have enough now." um, but yeah, so like, not stupid, because I'm kind of part of that community too. But with certain things that we put out, I feel like our content, it's a bit more concentrated. We don't branch out too much. It's a pretty particular area that we stay within. Um, like you aren't gonna find me doing a review on the Eras tour for Taylor Swift, or I'm not gonna be talking about whatever is going on between Drake and Kendrick. What's his name? I don't even know. So yeah, and because of that, I there's a lot of the people who watch our channel. Hey, David, David, thank you again so much. Lamar, I can't keep up. Kendrick Lamar, isn't it Kendrick Lamar? Right? Ugh, I'm so not into America. No, that's not true. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, so yeah. Um, let me just say I'm glad that you guys follow our channel. I'm glad that you guys support everything that we're doing, whether it's for Bandmate or for other bands as well. Um, and I'm happy to see the fruits of that. Um, it's been, even though it's been over, hello Arthur, konbanwa. Even though it's been now over a year and a half with MNN, it has been just a little over a year in terms of like reaching out to the smaller Japanese metal indie metal rock community, and I do see like inroads being made and relationships being made and connections, and again, results are happening. So imagine a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, what can happen. So I do need to work on my Japanese. SJ, please work on your Nihongo as well, so that when you visit, we can do a whole bunch of videos together. Nihongo de, ne? Nihongo de susumimashou. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff to come. Come on, man. You gotta come. You gotta work on that. You gotta work on your Nihongo and come over. Um, like, come by and stay for at least like a year. No. What number am I? Gosh. My eyes like drastically got worse recently. What is this, 23? Yeah. I am number 23. Number 23. For those who haven't seen it, it's still in the package. So that's that. And then, gosh darn it. And then the other side is the bow. Yeah. Oh, and SJ, I did give Richard your stuff, so he'll be taking it with him. And I did share some of the little goodies from yesterday, so yeah, like the good brother I am. Otherwise, tomorrow, is there a good number? No problem, man. Of course. Does NP mean nice, Peter? Hmm? 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 I think that's what. Yeah. Gosh, what was I saying? Oh, and then tomorrow, at Thundersnake Atsugi, Richard Hogan and Ed Hunt will be there again. So I'm really happy about that. I don't know who else, because nobody else really mentioned or talked about it. Yeah. So I think it'll just be the two of them, but there may be more. Who knows? People can buy tickets on their own. But it'll be fun because I'll be seeing two bands I haven't heard yet. Seeing two bands that I really love. Yeah, I is a phenomenal vocalist. It's just, yeah. Okay, I'll do that, David. Thank you. I will tell him hello. And I will be actually doing an interview with the Stereo Gang. I contacted them and reached out to them, and Miyu, she is the vocalist and the primary, if not the only, songwriter for the band. Just some pretty fair, like, simple questions, because they haven't been around all too long. Nothing too deep or intense. But yeah, it should be good, and it's another band that you guys can get into. They're also one of those bands where I feel like their album doesn't quite capture what I feel like they're capable of, like what I've heard sonically from like live recordings. And I don't know, that's what Richard Hogan was saying too about, like, with Hades. Like, yeah, their EP, it's not what it's a miracle if you can sonically capture that live experience as much as possible. Which is why, like, again, with Bandmate, the fact that their albums are so incredible, and then live is like it's taken to a whole other level. So yeah, man, lot of stuff ahead. And I feel like before I die, I have to have Hades get to the States. Like, that's like an absolute goal of mine. Like, I feel like they would do so well. Over on his channel, is that what you meant? It's so he has his interview with them right now. Oh, cool, cool. I'm also supposed to do an interview with Brandon at some point soon. Um, but yeah, we'll get things figured out. If like the Hades girls, they can stay at my place with my parents. That'll be fun. Uh, oh, awesome! Thank you. Um, wait, getting into the Zep venue. Well, you got your ticket at the Konbini or wherever, and then people were like just sort of in herds, and then based upon their numbers, it's like 1 through 10. People went there, and then there was another guy like down the line who was like number one, number two, number three. So, but thank you so much for that. Um, oh yeah, you do have hotel connections because yeah, you've got a lot of connections. SJ, we can make this happen, right? We can make this happen. Are you guys are people willing to invest? Are you willing to support and crowdfund donate to have Hades and maybe it's tough to get that many bands because the cost of it. Um, but at least Hades, because I can't recommend them enough. Experiencing them live. But sorry, I was laughing earlier because I was thinking about like the girls like sleeping at my parents' place and then like Mayo talking with my mom. Oh my God. I think just Milo talking with my parents or with anybody I know. I'm just like laughing in my head. Ah, God, she's so amazing. Uh, they're so much fun. They are so much fun. It's insane. And I really wish, unfortunately, I had to come back home, but I really wish I could have done a live stream with some of the guys who went to the show tonight to get sort of their take and hear from them. And um, but yeah, maybe I can do that tomorrow, at least with Richard and with Ed, but we'll see. Oh, here's another very cool thing that happened tonight. Ed had brought, because Ed is really into these Bucky's t-shirts. He bought like the whole store he went to or whatever. And if you guys do remember, Bucky's is the gas station slash everything. But let's see. Oh. So this is one of the shirts that he brought, and then there was another one, but I figured since yeah, Ed should get a commission for all these. But there were two shirts, and then because Yuri's birthday is coming up, I decided to give one to her. And so I was like, oh, this is a shirt. Oh, actually, if you look on Twitter or anywhere else that I posted from tonight's show, and you see that shirt, yeah, that's from that's actually from Ed. He gave them to me, and then I gave one to Yuri. But karma does come back because after Hades' set, Yuri like kissed her pick and she threw it out. It's kind of her thing now. Um, and then guess who picked it up? Ed got her pick. So that was really cool. Um, I don't know. It was just one of those things. It's just really nice to see. Uh, yeah, I think this is something that can work. Mm, Virginia, interesting. Honestly, I think thanks to Bandmade and to Ed, definitely, yeah. After they come to LA, then I'll tell them to head over to Poland. Um, Yeah, I think LA is the best place because it's where I live. And because SJ's there as well. And since we're, doing this channel, um, but if you guys can fly over, I can't promise that we can raise enough funds to have like and get enough stuff for like van, equipment, lodging, venue, all that kind of stuff. So that's not really my area of expertise, but I don't know. It would at least LA, at least LA. And then depending on how much we're able to raise, maybe we can have them go to a few other places like in that area, to kind of the West Coast. I think that'd be really fun. That'd be really cool. That I don't know. So Kotaro, it was on Instagram that I saw. Um, yeah, they were doing like a little battle with their drums. So, but personally, yeah, I would love to see Hades there. Saiseigo would be awesome to see there in the States. Um, just lot of, yeah, a lot of others. Anywho, it's up closing up to just about an hour. New York, getting to New York, equipment, flights. I'll say this. I'll say this. If you guys are willing to put in the money, if we're all able to kind of pitch in and kind of use our connections, um, like again, get the venues set, get the lodging set, get transportation set, then that's really most of it, right? So, yeah, yeah. Um, Hades has not yet put out any schedule past going to be at about 10K. So if it is 10K just for one band for Hades, because if that's the case, yeah, I think that it is definitely a possibility. I don't think 10K is that far-fetched or that much of a pipe dream. Um, man, we'll talk about this. Okay. That mm. Oh, she is. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Um, so she posted that on her YouTube channel. Smiley time. Yeah, that was with SGBC. Things kind of it's been difficult for them. So they had plans for that, but I don't know if that's going to be a possibility this year for them. Maybe more of a goal down the line. I think they're trying to take care of like more. Oh, what do you know? Miley popped up like right on the very first one, but that's late. That's 7 weeks ago. When is she posting this thing? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I just looked at Miley's YouTube channel's banner and okay, I'll probably be asleep by then. She may talk about it. If she talks about me, that's awesome. If not, that's cool. Um, but yeah, it was great meeting her yesterday and chatting and just yeah. But if you guys go over to her YouTube channel and check out the banner, you know why I'm kind of laughing. Hey, what's up, Banana Man? For those, this looks weird. Um, do you guys understand why I'm wearing this? Do people get the reference? It's a little bit more deep cut, so maybe not. Um, it is very much related to Bandmade. I wonder, there's at least one person. I think, would SJ get the reference? I think he would. Right? Kotaro is the drummer for Doll Parts. Yes, Misa does actually like Budweiser. She does have a Budweiser t-shirt and at least a couple of photos. So that's why I bought it at Target. Yes. So Misa has oiks. Yeah, Kotaro is the drummer for Doll Parts. He did a little video. Yeah, anyway. And for those who came late, I ended up arm wrestling Kotaro after the show tonight. Because for some reason he wanted to arm wrestle me. I did not hear the whole conversation that was happening between him and the rest of the band and the staff that was seated after the show. But all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, Kotaro wants to arm wrestle you." I was like, "What?" So yeah, we had a little impromptu over the top. I should have done this. So yeah, I can say that I arm wrestled a rock star, a Japanese rock star. I was pretty thrown off guard by that. Yeah, I feel as much as I do here and as much stuff happens between me and the bands here, that's definitely not enough. If that can be translated to the bands here, I don't want to say. What I will say is that we arm wrestled left and right. We were stuck with our left arms, but one of us won with our right. Who could it be? Who could it be? But the translation between the bands here with the fans overseas, I feel like it can go further than just like buying stuff. Yeah, one of the biggest things for me is the idea of people getting a chance to experience these bands overseas. So we'll have to start one by one, right? So yeah. Okay, we'll talk more. Everyone will talk more. Oh, you'd let her win. You'd let her win. Okay, it's 1:15 a.m. I do have another show to go to tomorrow. I do have an interview tomorrow. So, as much as I would love to stick around and chat with you guys, for my own health, my own rest, and for my sanity tomorrow at the show, I probably should get going. Yeah. Well, after a show, it's hard to just sort of rest and relax and just sleep. So, no, it's not. Sleep is never overrated. Sleep is awesome. Sleep is so good. Yeah, but thank you guys for joining me on this live stream. Again, I know it's not as big of a deal as after the Day of Engage show, but it's cool. Even though this is a smaller group, and I know it's not as it's not as gosh, see, this is what happens. Oh, thank you so much, Esther. How do I want to say this? Even though Bandmade is sort of the whale, right? And it's an obvious, it's almost a given. If we talk about Bandmade, if we do something about Bandmade, we'll get a lot more viewers, a lot more views. But I'm just glad that there are people who are still interested in these smaller bands, in these sort of more obscure, yeah. Uh, at this point, it's more obscure music, I guess. Maybe this is also sort of a titanium bubble that I'm in as well, but I'm just glad that you guys have followed me along on this ride, and I definitely do not intend to stop here. So, thank you guys so much for supporting, for following, and yeah, let's let's wait and see. Not no, no, let's not wait and see. Let's do stuff, and let's just like push for more stuff. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. I may do another live stream tomorrow after the show. We'll see how that works because I have work the next day. Um, and again, there's photos and stuff as well, but um, sometimes the work has to be done, right? Even though sleep is not overrated, um, sometimes there are other things that are more necessary. Thank you guys. I'll see you again. And till then, keep listening to Bandmade, but there's so much more to listen to as well. So, guys, thank you. Bye. Peace. Later. Bye. Yes, we will push. We will push. Bye, guys.